there is a proposal for the U.S. government to start to hold Bitcoin. The U.S. government, like many countries, they hold reserves in a variety of different assets, gold, oil, rare minerals like palladium. And I think they have like maybe 27 different reserves. And so, many governments hold gold. I think they should start to hold Bitcoin because Bitcoin is essentially the new gold standard. It's, I think, a very core way that you should hold assets and hold value over time. And it's still nascent enough where it has some volatility. It's getting less and less over time, but it still has a lot of upside potential. So I think if the U.S. gets that legislation approved, which I hope they do, the rest of the G20 will follow, and that could be a huge driver of Bitcoin price appreciation.
U.S. President Donald Trump has fulfilled several campaign promises aimed at positioning America as a leader in digital asset innovation and blockchain technology. One of his first actions upon taking office was to replace anti-crypto regulators at agencies like the Securities and Exchange Commission with pro-crypto, pro-innovation Republican commissioners. These new appointments have begun reversing many of the previous administration's restrictive policies toward cryptocurrency. Within days of taking office, the Trump administration officially ended a contentious SEC guideline that had prevented U.S. banks from holding crypto assets. On Thursday, the SEC's new leadership, under Acting Chair Mark Ueda, rescinded Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, which had required banks to classify crypto assets held on behalf of customers as liabilities. This move effectively blocked them from holding cryptocurrencies. The decision was met with praise from prominent crypto investors, including Michael Saylor, executive chairman of MicroStrategy, who welcomed the change as a significant step forward for the cryptocurrency industry in the U.S. During a crypto and digital assets panel at the World Economic Forum's annual conference in Davos, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong and Skybridge Capital's Anthony Scaramucci discussed the importance of the administration's pro-crypto stance. They emphasized how it could help foster the industry's growth both in the U.S. and internationally. Armstrong believes that Trump will fulfill his campaign promise of creating a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve, with other G7 nations likely to follow suit soon after. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out daily 5-minute crypto newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
So why Bitcoin reserve and not beef reserves and mutton reserves? Anyone wants to comment on that?
Well, I think that if you like Neil Ferguson is here, he has a great book on the ascent of money, and he's a historian, and so many things have been used as money over the years. I think it's pretty, this is still maybe a new idea, but I think it's clear at this point that Bitcoin is a better form of money than gold. It is provably scarce, just like gold, but it's more portable and divisible. So you can actually use it. Has higher utility, I would say. And it was the best performing asset of the last 10 years. And so for store of value, I think it's going to be important for governments to hold this over time. It might start with being 1% of their reserves, but I think over time it'll come to be equal to or greater than gold reserves. In terms of the state of the industry, I'd say that it's the dawn of a new day. Yeah. You have to remember that the last 4 years in the US, it was a very hostile environment. I think the lack of clarity got weaponized, and some people in the government tried to actually, I think, curtail or kill the industry unlawfully. And so with a new administration coming in, I think we have a path to get clear rules, and we're going to have hopefully legislation passed through Congress, which will bring in a lot of new investment. And so crypto is really in its infancy. I think it's incredibly exciting. I mean, the ETFs have broken almost every record of new ETFs of Bitcoin money flowing in. Payments with stablecoins are on a tear. They grew about 300% year over year. In 2024, they did about $30 trillion in payment volume, with USDC as a major player there, for instance. And, I'd say about half of the Fortune 500 has some sort of pilot going in crypto. I mean, the largest financial service firms in the world, every fintech, many of the neobanks are all integrating crypto. So this is a technology that's going to update the financial system globally, make it faster, cheaper, more efficient. And it's the long-term impact of this is that it's actually going to increase economic freedom in the world. If you want, we can come back to that topic. But to me, that's one of those important freedoms right up there with speech, which is foundational to all prosperity in society. And if we can actually inject good financial infrastructure to every country of the world for anybody who has a smartphone, plug them into the global economy, I think it's going to lift billions of people out of poverty, and it's going to be very transformational over the next couple decades. I think the Trump effect cannot be denied here. To have the leader of the largest GDP country in the world come out undeniably and say that he wants to be the first crypto president, he wants the industry to be built in America, that he's going to direct every agency of the US government to work towards clear rules which enable innovation. This is unprecedented. And it's hard to deny that effect has, we just yesterday saw an all-time high price for Bitcoin at 109,000. I think that's largely due to the inauguration.
I was there when President Trump gave this speech at the Bitcoin conference, and it was very, very clear if he won the election, things were going to change in the industry. And if you were on the side of the Democrats trying to support them, I was astonished at their reluctance to understand what was actually going on. And if somebody does write a history of this era, it'll be the era where Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler got together for some unknown reason. Some of us have some ideas about what they were doing, but they got together and they literally helped the Democrats lose the presidency, the House, and the Senate. And so it was very hard to communicate with them at that time what they were doing. But what I will say, and I have to respect Mr. President Trump for this industry is here to stay, and there are properties in this industry. There's companies like Circle, companies like Coinbase, Franklin Templeton, Stellar, that are going to advance the technological innovation in the world of transactions. They're going to speed them up, they're going to make them cheaper, and it's going to unleash an amazing amount of global innovation. And you got to give the president and his team credit for understanding it. And I also think we have put pressure on the Democrats now. The Sherrod Brown race in the United States set alarm bells off. And so for the Europeans in the room, Sherrod Brown was an 18-year veteran of the Senate. He was the head of the Senate Banking Committee. The crypto community, through the Political Action Committee, dumped $40 million into that race, knocked him into the woods. And that's very hard to do, to dislodge an incumbent with that level of power. And I think it sends a message to the Democrats as well that they need to be bipartisan with this. So I am very hopeful and very pragmatically optimistic.
President Trump signed an executive order on Thursday aimed at advancing technological innovation in the United States, particularly within the crypto and digital asset sectors. The order reaffirms the administration's commitment to promoting blockchain technology and ensuring that public networks operate freely without unnecessary interference. It also opposes censorship and supports individuals' rights to access and use digital assets, aligning with the broader goal of financial autonomy. A key element of the order is the prohibition of central bank digital currencies in the U.S., citing concerns over their potential risks to financial stability, individual privacy, and national sovereignty. As part of this shift, federal agencies have been instructed to halt all current and future CBDC initiatives. The order also repeals previous measures, such as Executive Order 1467 from 2022 and the Treasury Department's Digital Asset Engagement Framework, aiming to remove outdated or conflicting policies on digital asset. The order positions the U.S. as a leader in blockchain innovation and underscores its dedication to protecting financial independence and individual privacy in the digital age. In a recent interview at Davos with the Wall Street Journal, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong discussed his expectations for the Trump administration, emphasizing its efforts to correct the mistakes of the previous administration in the area of crypto regulation. 121, coupled with President Trump's recent executive order prioritizing digital asset innovation, marks a significant turning point for the cryptocurrency industry. With the removal of SAB 121's accounting restrictions, banks and traditional financial institutions are now free to fully embrace crypto services. This regulatory shift removes key barriers that previously prevented widespread institutional participation in the crypto market, signaling a major step toward mainstream adoption. By offering services like custody, trading, and payment solutions, traditional financial institutions can now provide secure and regulated access to digital assets. This increased accessibility is expected to lower entry barriers for both retail and institutional investors, many of whom were previously deterred by the complexities and risks associated with decentralized platforms. As a result, the crypto market is likely to experience a surge in participation from both individuals and institutional players, bringing in more capital, liquidity, and stability. The repeal of SAB 121 also positions the U.S. financial sector to better compete in the global digital economy. This regulatory clarity aligns with broader goals of fostering innovation, enhancing financial inclusion, and reinforcing the country's leadership in the rapidly evolving crypto space. With these changes in place, could a strategic Bitcoin reserve be the next step in President Trump's pro-crypto policies? Share your thoughts on how such a move might impact Bitcoin and crypto asset prices in the comments below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.